So we are starting with qualitative bacteriological analysis of milk. Now we know that milk is the excellent medium, the best medium for the growth of bacteria. Many different bacteria are found in milk because milk is having all the components which are required for the bacterial growth. It contains carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals and also vitamins. Now here we will try to concentrate on the analysis of milk which is bacteriological, okay, and this is also qualitative, that we are not going to find out that how many number of bacteria are present in our sample, but we are interested in finding out that which type of bacteria is found in our milk sample, okay. So for that we have to carry out so many different tests. There are some different media also which we are going to use, and at the end of the practical we will confirm that so and so species is found in our milk sample, okay. So because milk is very good medium, milk get contaminated frequently by different microorganisms, especially the bacteria which are coming from various resources. Now from where milk get contaminated? Contamination, the sources of contamination are many, okay. So it may be with the handling, it may be during storage, and it may be during transportation, and also during the milking process. Now one thing is very clear here, that milk will be very safe, okay, till it is in the udder of the cow or udder of the milking animals. As soon as it will come out from the udder, it will get contaminated. It may have so many different possibilities that it will get contaminated during the milking process by the person who is milking, or from the utensil which is used for taking out the milk, or it may be from the surface of the animal, it may be from air, or it may be from the water which is added in the milk when it is sold by the people, okay. Now handling, how we are handling the milk. Raw milk may contain more amount of bacteria, but then after it will undergo pasteurization, okay. So pasteurization should be done properly, okay. You know that what is the temperature and time for duration for pasteurization process. Pasteurization process should be done properly, so it will eliminate the pathogens from the milk sample, okay. That is, this is causing bacteria will be removed from the milk sample. So after pasteurization, again milk is stored. So storage is also very important, that whether it is done properly or not, okay. If it is left at room temperature, or if it is kept at high temperature, what will happen? There may be too much of the growth of bacteria which are having in the form of contamination, and milk will get deteriorated, okay. So it should be stored at very low temperature in refrigerator or something like that, okay. Then during transportation also, it all depends on the containers. If containers are leaky and if they are not airtight, then what will happen? From the air, bacteria will fall inside the containers and it will make the milk contaminated, okay. So there are so many different sources from which or from where the milk get contaminated, okay. So now here we are going to check that which type of bacteria has contaminated our milk, okay. So now there are so many bacteria which are involved in spoilage of milk, okay, and they are causing different disease also. For example, if we talk about the disease caused by this milk, contaminated milk, very first is Brucella, okay, brucellosis, that is Brucella abortus is the species which cause brucellosis in human beings. Then diphtheria. In case of diphtheria, okay, Corynebacterium diphtheri is there in the form of contaminant in the milk. Then dysentery, If water is added in the milk and if water contains Shigella group of organisms, then disease can also be, dysentery can also be caused to the human beings who will consume it. Then Q fever, then scarlet fever, then typhoid, and the last one is tuberculosis. Okay, so these organisms may be present. These pathogens will come from human being or from animals. Okay, so there are so many different diseases which can be caused by utilization of contaminated milk. Okay, so we will find out that which particular organisms are present in our milk. Now there are different methods for qualitative analysis of milk in microbiology. Okay, one is called coliform test. A very small coliform test. Now here what we do, we take any sugar broth, it may be dextrose or anything, and you know that it is an indicator dye, okay, and this dye will be bromo, cresol, purple. Now what will happen? We will inoculate milk sample in this sugar tube, sugar broth, and it will be kept for 24 hours at 37 degrees centigrade, and on the next day the color change and bubble formation will be checked then after in this tube, and if the color of the tube turns from purple to yellow, then we can conclude that organisms are present in the milk sample. They have utilized the sugar, that is dextrose, and they have produced the acids, and these acids have changed the color of the dye bromocresol purple from purple to yellow, okay, because in acidic condition this dye remains in yellow color. Okay, so this is the indirect indication that coliform or group of organisms are there, because all of them will give this test positive. Okay, so this is a very small test, but now the test which we are going to perform will have so many different media and inoculation. So if we want to check the quality, there are so many other tests also. Very first is SPC, that is standard plate count. Okay, you can also call it as viable count. Then direct microscopic count. Okay, by using microscope you can count the number of bacteria. Then coliform test, as I have already told you. Okay, coliform test. Then methylene blue reduction test, that is MBRT, and Reyes-Husband test. Okay, so these are the different type of tests which are performed to check the quality of milk. Okay, now we will go for the details of our practical. Very firstly, we will try to understand that which bacteriological media we are going to use. Now our purpose is to find out that which coliform bacteria is present in our milk sample. So we will take a nutrient agar plate, then we will take McConkey's agar, plate, and EMB agar, that eosin methylene blue agar. Okay, so these three different plates are to be taken. These two plates are inoculated, or strict on, this plate is to be strict on the first day. Okay, and this also to be strict on first day, and this is to be strict on second day. Okay, so I will give you the reason why we do this. Okay, So these are the three different media plates which are used for coliform checking. Now after doing this, what is to be done? On the first day, we have to inoculate nutrient agar plate and McConkey's agar plate. Okay, and on the next day, we have to go for inoculation of EMB agar plate and so many different biochemical media. Okay, so first day we have inoculated nutrient agar and McConkey agar. This is our nutrient agar and this is our McConkey's agar. Okay, we have already inoculated, and on the next day we will confirm the result. Okay, we will observe the result and then after we will go in further details. Now from McConkey's agar plate we have to confirm that whether bacteria are lactose fermenter or lactose non-fermenter. Okay, most of the time they are lactose fermenter. So lactose fermenter group of bacteria will give the colony which will be pink in color. So pink colony is to be taken out, colony characters will be written, gram staining is to be performed, result of gram staining is to be written, and then from that colony suspension is made and EMB agar plate and some other biochemical media are to be inoculated on the second day. Okay, now which other biochemical media we are going to use along with the eosin methylene blue agar plate. So first of all we will have a very bigger list of sugar broth. All the different 6 common sugar we are going to inoculate. Very first is dextrose, that is glucose, lactose, sucrose, xylose and mannitol. We are going to use all these sugars, okay, and then after we are going to inoculate the other type of media like 1% peptone for indole test, 2% peptone for test to find out the hydrogen sulfide production, then GPB, that is glucose phosphate broth, okay, to do the VP and MR test, then peptone nitrate to carry out nitrate reduction test, and also for the checking of pH, change in pH. Then we will also have inoculation of triple sugar ion agar. This is in the form of slant, TSI slant, and also we have citrate slant. Okay, Siemens citrate slant. So these are the different biochemical media. These are called biochemical media. These biochemical media are to be inoculated on the second day, and on the third day we will get the result of this media, and then we will conclude our culture or the bacteria which we are going to find out from our milk. So I think you are able to understand. These are the sugar broths, okay, these are proteinic media, and this is the media which is done for carbohydrate as well as for protein, and this is also carbohydrate media. Okay, so all these different media are to be inoculated along with the inoculation of eosin methylene blue agar plate from the suspension which is prepared from McConkey's agar, in which a pink isolated, okay, well developed colony is selected. It is emulsified in distilled water and suspension is prepared. From that, these all biochemical media are to be inoculated. Okay, fine. Now after that, on the next day, what is to be done? Now on the next day, we are going to check the result from the plates and biochemical media. So from EMB agar plate, we are going to find out that whether we are dealing with an equally or heterodental. Okay? And from biochemical media, we are going to identify that which particular culture we are dealing with, because here there are so many different biochemical media. You have to add the reagents in the various biochemical media. Then some biochemical media also require incubation, either in water bath or in incubator. Okay, and then after we will get the result. Okay, so this is a long procedure. It requires 3 days to complete the qualitative analysis of milk. Okay, so now we will try to understand that what is the importance of this practical and how we are going to frame the protocol for our practical doing. Okay, thank you.